Hello, Resilience family. Welcome to another episode. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, those that are watching and listening. I appreciate you guys. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday today. It's been a very in tuned one for me today. God has been downloading some stuff. I'm probably going to share that tomorrow. Jump on the live that I normally don't do. I do it every once in a while when God be speaking and I'm writing. So I have to share that I am going to share. But guys, I have an awesome guest today. She's going to teach us, y'all. She's going to teach us a little something that we all need in our world. I know I need it. For real. So, CrownMarie, sweetie, welcome. How are you doing?
I just want to say thank you, sis, for having me. I am doing wonderful. I am doing great. How are you doing?
I am good. I'm good. I feel like a little something trying to come on. I got to catch that because I ain't got no time to be sick up in here. Okay.
Gotta drink some tea.
You know, that part. Yes.
Gotta drink some tea because I've been feeling some type of way too. And I had to push through it. I drunk me some tea. I didn't take no medicine because I'm trying to let it just go naturally. Just run out of my system, whatever it is.
Exactly. Well, the tea is good. Yeah, no, I hear you. The tea is good. I normally, what I do, I be taking, I just do spoonfuls of garlic. Some minced garlic with a little olive oil, and then I take a spoonful of honey. It normally kick it for me, kick it in the bud. So that's what I'm going to have to do. And glad I'm at home. I got to go nowhere.
Yeah, I've heard about that before. Also, turmeric. And I think it's turmeric and what is it called? Not garlic, but
the ginger?
Ginger.
Yes.
Turmeric and ginger is something that's really good when you're feeling some type of way.
Yes. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that because she is she's a health geek too, y'all. Anyway. I ain't forgot. Look, I haven't forgot.
I'm trying to do it the natural way, you know.
Yes, right. So you know what? Tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Let them know who you are.
Okay, well, I'm CrownMarie. I'm a consumer law educator. I educate consumers on their rights when it comes to common law. And common law is pretty much the law of the land. It's pretty much God's law, one law, but we have been conditioned to follow, financial institutions, laws, and legal systems. So that's what I teach people, to stand in their rights, how to enforce their rights when it comes to unfair practices of financial institutions, contracts that may be frivolous, whether you go into the dealership, apartment complex. So it's all about knowing your rights, because we have rights. Even with your credit report, there's things on your credit report, understanding what should and should not be on there. So that's what I do. I teach consumers about that.
Girl, I got to give a hand clap to that. Good. That's good. We need that. We need that. I've been doing a little something on my own, but yeah, we gonna talk. We gonna talk.
Yes.
So, give me your definition of resilience. Tell us, what does that mean to you?
I'm gonna say someone who keep going, no matter what the obstacles is. Keep pushing, no matter what they're up against. And that would be my definition. Keep going, no matter what's going on, because I know what I know, regardless of what I see. I'm just gonna keep going.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. That's good. That is good. Okay, so you teach us. You talk about consumer law. Actually, try to, in layman terms, tell us what is consumer law.
So there's a wide range of what consumer law is. What I teach is understanding how to protect yourself when it comes to financial institutions. So consumer law is law for the people, us. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it kind of touched on it briefly. We've been taught to listen to financial institutions and their policies and procedures, but we actually have the power. And that's where consumer law comes in, at common law. And the power is saying what should not be on your consumer report. Mm-hmm. If someone deny you for credit, they don't have the right to deny you from credit when it comes to the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. So it's just many acts and laws out here that we have the right to say, hey, according to this law, I should be getting approved for that. Or, hey, according to this law, I shouldn't be putting down payment on my car. Or according to this law, that shouldn't be on my consumer report. So
Oh, wow.
That's what I teach, that we have to stand in our truth when we're trying to navigate through the system, when we're trying to get housing, get jobs, and we are suffering every day and wondering why we're suffering. And we don't know our rights. And the financial institutions and, consumer reporting agencies are benefiting off this. They're benefiting off ignorance, and it's people don't know. They benefit off there. So that's so much that goes into consumer law. But the part I teach is understanding that you have the right to say what should and should not be on your consumer report. Understanding that you have the right to go into a financial institution and say, hey, I don't want my information exposed to third-party companies. Understanding that you have the right to go to an apartment complex or anywhere and say, hey, this is where I'm going to stay. And you're not going to deny me according to the law. But these are things we don't know. We think that it's all dependent on your credit score, but they can't deny you for certain things. And it goes deeper. And that's why I tell people it's bigger than, credit repair. We have been violated. A lot of this stuff, they have to have permission in order to take your non-public personal information. They have to have permission in order to report things on you. They have to have permission to take your social security number and do whatever they're doing with it. They are benefiting off your social security number. So, and that's, again, it goes deeper. And I just spoon feed my audience. I started out with credit, just, understanding the basis of your credit report, but it goes deeper. Like, what is a credit card? Anything that you purchase with a credit card, it shouldn't be on your consumer report. So if I purchase a car with a credit card, that means that account should not be reported on my consumer report. But we don't know that,
Right.
So
Right. So where do we find these laws at? Look at me. I'm like,
I got a list of it. I'm glad you asked that, because I'm going to give you that and some things that you guys can look at. So when it comes to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you want to go to 15 USC 1681. That's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Now, that act governs the consumer reporting agencies, right? It tells you what the consumer reporting agencies should and should not be doing. It tells you how they need to make sure that everything on your consumer report is accurate. They need to make sure that they are respecting you as far as your privacy. That's what that act. So it's the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That's 15 USC 6081. Now, also the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. That's 15 USC 1692. That talks all about debt collectors. When we are getting presentments in the mail and they're sending you things saying you owe this and that, it talks about how the debt collectors need to respect you, how they need to cease and desist from communicating with you. If you say, hey, I'm not going to pay that debt, or hey, this debt doesn't belong to me, because a debt collector is doing nothing but taking your information from somebody else. They bought the debt from somebody else.
Right.
And now they're trying to collect again, which is not right. That's against my rights. And I have the right to tell you to stop it according to 15 USC 1692, that is. So we got to understand that. Also, truth in lending, it talks about, when it comes to getting credit, when it comes to you going to the dealership, and how the finance charge is the sum of all charges. We don't know that it's actually against the law to put a down payment down. But these are things that we have to enforce. It's not like it's going to happen overnight, or you're going to go in there and tell them the laws and they're going to listen to you. You have to actually enforce the laws. You have to enforce it. So yeah, those are some ones you can start with. 15 USC 1681, 15 USC 1692, starting with the Fair Credit Reporting Act and the collection agencies.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. Look at me. I'm over here like, really? I got a lot of reading to do. I got some research to do. Because you know how you try to just really teach yourself, it worked a little bit, but it really don't work. I'm really glad that you're here, and people else that, are doing this, and make you guys self-available, so we could just, come talk to you, come hire you and get us right. Because I need to be taught, like, for real, because we go through things that we probably didn't have to go through.
Absolutely. I was desperate when I first started tapping into this information. It was I remember the first time. I'm originally from Chicago, moved to Chicago to Wisconsin.
That town. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that town. But when I was in Wisconsin and then being a single mother, and I was desperate to understand why I cannot get credit, why I'm not getting approved, nothing. I don't know anything. I'm like, God, this is embarrassing. You know, when people ask questions, I try to steer away from talking about my credit report. It was very embarrassing. And I remember just really going on a deep dive, asking God to just guide me to where I need to get this information. And I made a vision board. And 5 years ago, before I came here to Arizona, I had on my vision board, I need to understand the whole factors of credit. I need to understand real estate. And when I first got here, I got into real estate. I was doing wholesale. That's before I started the credit, because I'm really passionate about real estate. And I started flipping houses and all of that. I ran into someone who actually was he was a realtor, and he does credit. He had a credit repair business. And that's how I got into the game. I dived deep. I'm in day and night studying, trying things out on myself, trying things out on my family. And I'm like, wow, we really have the power to say what should and should not be on our credit report. And I had a bankruptcy at that time. I was trying to get a bankruptcy off. So I was like, listen, I'm going to get this bankruptcy off, because the courts don't give that information to anybody. It's against the law for them to pass your personal information to anybody. So if that's the case, how did it get on your consumer report?
Correct.
So they say you bring them a letter and say, hey, did you send, my personal information to the consumer reporting agencies, or how did my information get out? They will send you a letter back and say, no, we don't do that. That's against the law. We don't do that. So with that letter that you have from the court, you send that same letter to the consumer reporting agency, say, hey, I got a bankruptcy on my consumer report, but the court is saying they don't give this information out to anybody. This have to be removed. So you have power. We don't know that our information is being exposed, and it should be exposed, because these are practicing. They are participating in unfair practices towards consumers. They gather in your information and they get paid off of our information. And we have the right to say, no, you need to remove that.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So look, you answered a couple of my questions already, but I'm like, what? I'm sorry. I'm really fascinated, because it's a lot. It's okay. It's a lot we just don't know, like, that we're not educated on. I really think, man. So now, see, my brain is doing all this downloading right now. They need to be teaching us some of this stuff in schools. Like, why aren't they? Or some of now that we have some of these small micro schools popping up in charter schools, this needs to be a lesson in these schools. I just believe, a financial piece,
talk about it.
To educate us.
And it's a reason why they don't do that. There's nowhere in school have I ever learned about credit. Never. I when I was grown, my son was fortunate enough to start. I was drilling in his head early.
I know that's right.
He get tired of it, but I'm like, it's going to benefit you later on, but they don't teach us this for a reason. You need workers. So if we were empowered to understand the power of our credit, not just credit, business credit too, it's so much that we do. So many people say they're tired of working. If you really tap into the power of credit, we can do anything. It may not happen overnight, but we can do anything with our credit. You can get loans, you can start businesses, you can build it's money out here for us. Tap into our rights, tap into what credit really is, and know that we can do whatever it is that we want to do. They don't teach it for a reason, because they want people to be ignorant. They want you to work for corporations. This is how they get paid.
Totally. Oh my God. So see, if just give us just a little bit tidbit. Okay. So the consumer's identity. So how can I put this? So how can consumers identify and address, I guess, unfair practices by the financial institutions?
That's a good question. So think about, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, transaction and experiences does not belong on your consumer report. Okay. And transaction and experiences are many things. That could be late payments. That could be inquiries. That can be on-time payments. That can be liens. If the law is telling you that it don't belong on your consumer report, and people say, how do I clean up my consumer report? Well, the law is telling you none of it even belongs on there.
Wow.
Even it tells you anything purchased with a credit card does not belong on your consumer report.
Wow.
Give you the law today. It's 15. That one is 15 USC 1681A2 when it talks about transaction and experiences. So if transaction and experiences don't belong on my consumer report, why am I trying to figure out how to clean up my credit report? Why am I trying to figure out how to get auto loans and repos off? And when it's saying that the information doesn't belong on it, but we don't know the information. So if we start with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, here's a book right here. You can order this stuff offline. Everybody have access to this.
Fair Credit Reporting Act. Okay. Wow.
Everybody has access to it. It tells you that transaction and experiences does not belong on my consumer report. Again, transaction and experiences are late payments, your credit card usage. My credit card, your credit card, they report how much you use on your credit card. And the law is saying it doesn't belong on there.
Oh, wow.
It be removed off our credit report if we exercise our rights and them.
Right.
So that's where it was started. You want to write letters, and you simply will write letters. Some people don't know how to enforce letters and write letters, and that's why I come in. My team have letters. We take consultation calls where we can help you navigate through your credit report, how to read it. A lot of people don't know how to read their credit report. You could set up a consultation call. How do I read it? What am I looking for? There's certain things you got to look for. You got to look for certain things when it comes to your credit report. Everything should be matching with every, TransUnion and equal. Everything should be matching. If it's not matching, that's a violation. It can be gone just by it not matching.
Wow.
We're not necessarily calling them and saying, hey, this is not my information. We're saying, hey, I need you to investigate this account.
Right.
And the law says that in the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it talks about if you get this book, it tells you have the right to write them and say, investigate this account because it's not right here.
Wow.
And then they send you something and say, we investigated the account. Okay, you investigated, and they say we investigated the account and everything seemed accurate. Okay, then send me the procedure of the investigation. Show me what you did to investigate.
Documentation, right?
Okay. You want to keep a paper trail with them because let's say you want to go to court.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you want to enforce their hand with a lawyer. That's another way we do it as well. So let's say these people get scared when it comes to the legal system. So if I sent 3 letters out to them and they did not remove the negative information off my consumer report, and I'm like, okay, I done sent 3 letters. Now I'm going to take it up a little notch. I would get a letter from my lawyer, have my lawyer write up something and say, hey, my client sent you this, that, and the third, 3 letters. You have not, removed this information. And we are giving you a chance to cure this before we move to, legal matters.
Yeah.
They'll remove it immediately.
Wow, girl, you dropping some gems today. Look, we're going to have to do a workshop. We're going to have to get together. Gigi, girl, I know you listening. We're going to have a workshop. For real.
I'm working on some things. I'm definitely trying to get some things going.
Yes, I'm serious. I'm signing up. For real. Because I need to get my word together. You and I talked briefly, offline. I got to get my word together. I'm knocking on 50. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not looking at what the world tells me I should be doing, but I know I should be doing just a little bit better, despite, what's been happening in my world, personally, which is a lot out there. Y'all know, people go listen to them YouTube channels, my past recordings episodes, they're going to hear a lot because it's out there. I talk about it because I want people to know they're not alone. I'm here with you. We out here just trying to swim, make it through, So tell the folks how they can reach you though,
Yes. So you can reach me on TikTok is CrownMarie. YouTube, you could reach me there too, CrownMarie. And I believe Facebook is Marie Evans. I don't do as much on Facebook, but I'm trying to get better at that. But I'm really, I do most of my work is TikTok and YouTube, Instagram, the same, CrownMarie. My website, www.cmrecoverysolutions.com. There's information that you can read there. Also, my email, info@cmrecoverysolutions.com as well. If you want to set up a consultation call, understand how to read your credit report, understand how to enforce the laws, that's what we do there. I got to get on platforms. I need to start getting more used to
Well,
a lot more platforms out there. But right now, I'm like,
you're doing good. That YouTube and TikTok, people know where to go. You know, I know they be out here telling us we need to be everywhere. Baby, I ain't gonna stretch myself this far. You know, I'm sorry, even though I be trying to, but no. We're gonna let God do what God do. He gonna work that out. He elevates us. You know. Okay, I'm just saying. Yes.
But with the information I give, it's kind of funny. When I first started speaking about this, they were actually my social media platforms were getting shut down. I had to start platforms over constantly.
Wow.
In the beginning. When I first started learning this, I was angry with it. I was just trying to tell everybody, you are being violated. Did you know that all debts are not due to you and it's to the United? I was just telling, do you know that the United States is not a country, it's a corporation? People don't know that.
Man.
So it's just so much that when I started diving into, I was just like, this is crazy. It's bigger than credit. We violated.
I'm telling you.
Back a little. My mouth was a little too much in the beginning. They was like, They was cutting. I'm telling you, they was cutting my.
They're like, no, you didn't.
I couldn't post my videos. I couldn't. I'm like, what did they block me from? I'm like, Lord. So I kind of had to scale back a little, and that's why I wanted, the workshops, as you mentioned, webinars and all of that stuff.
Yes.
But we got to do phone calls, Zoom calls, because
I'm telling you.
They're not going to let you expose too much.
Yeah, because we got to get better at this thing, especially what's going on in our economy and our world, period. I mean, look at this muck of a government. I'm sorry. Just, I never talk about politics, but they've been a hot mess lately, Yeah. And we got to educate ourselves, and I believe that's good, as you say, in this consumer law, knowing that we need to know about these tax laws. I think we need to be studying that too. I'm up here like I'm sending myself to school, So we could
absolutely.
So we can live comfortable, and like you're saying, you started out in real estate. Hey, I want to learn that world, It's so much we didn't know, and we just get so caught up in our personal lives, Like me, I always use me for an example, Marie. I always use me. I got married young, my first marriage. It was 12 years of long craziness, abuse, I didn't learn much. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't get to travel. I didn't know what really was happening in the world. I just knew my kids. I got to take care of my kids, and I got to survive. I got to put through for them, wasn't thinking about what come along with it, because, he was the breadwinner. I had a little job, a little coins here and there, but he was the breadwinner. He controlled it all. I mean, just stuff like that. But I think we do have to start taking the initiative to learn, to be more intentional, about our worlds, about our families,
But I think it's coming out more because it was a time where this information was just taboo. Nobody talked about it because we didn't have access to it. But I do think that God is going to be the one that, have the last laugh. God, who can be against me? And I truly believe that this information, I have tried to walk away from this information so many times, but I know that God wants me to do so much with it. And I'm just, God, and he's giving me a love for it because I love other people win. I love for people to be like, wow, I didn't know that I had the right to remove all that off my credit report. Or, oh, I didn't know that I can call them and say this. We give these people power, but the only power they have is policies and procedures. They're the legal system. What I teach is common law. Law is, we think law, it deals with just law. No, law is you.
Right.
Of the land. Law is of the people. We got to understand that's what we have to uphold. We have private rights. So I believe that God is doing his work, and it's got to be more than just me, more than just whoever's out here. We all got to collectively come together and take back our rights, because I honestly believe that God is disappointed. And when he say we perish because of lack of knowledge, I believe has to do with contracts that we signed that we really don't understand.
Right.
Things, and we talking about why my life's so this and that. You didn't sign your life away to them. And we don't know this, but because of the lack of knowledge, we don't know.
Yes.
I'm always seeking and seeking. That's one thing. I stay up all night. I got to get better with sleeping, because I would get some information and I would be just all night just going.
Here,
Going,
yes.
going.
Yeah. Yeah, man, because it'd be so good. And you'd be like, oh, wow. Well, seriously. Seriously, that is really good. And I've gotten a little bit lazy about that. But normally I'll be trying to go research and read something, so I could get a little bit better and pass it on to my daughters, because I believe I raised them good. But not to this extent. I didn't know all of this growing up, like you saying, this consumer law stuff, your credit, finances, balance, and and I always tell them reading is fundamental once applied, so these type of things, man, this is,
and it's okay. I feel like we a lot of us beat ourselves up because we're like, oh, I didn't know to give this information to my kids, but guess what? When we accept God, they knew what they were doing. But the thing is, if we sit in the mess, I believe that since we know it now, since you have been exposed to it, it's up to you to dig deeper. If I said the laws that you should be going over, and whoever's listening, go over the laws. 15. The thing is, this information is exposed to everybody. They say put something in the book, and you'll keep it from somebody. Nobody's going to pick up a book and read.
Man, I'm trying to tell them the library, my best friend. I'm trying to tell people if I ain't ordering the book, I'm in that library for real. Yes.
And that's where the information is at. And the funny thing is, for me to be where I'm at, I was the person that hated reading. I was creative. I did hair. I did makeup. That was where I was dancing. I was very close. And for me to be where I'm at now, reading and doing this, I know it's only God, because I wanted to, like I say, I wanted to walk away from it 1,000 times. Like, literally, I want to go act. I want to go sing. Something else. God said, no, you got to get this information out. That's
right. Right. You the deliverer. Look.
Yes. You got to just keep seeking, and God to expose it to us, even though we didn't have it to give our kids. I believe that God knows our heart, and it's going to come around full circle. It's going to come back around, and everybody those who want it, I believe it's going to find a way. And I know that I don't have all the answers, but I'm constantly seeking. I'm asking God, please just guide me to the right. I'm a vessel here for you to be, your purpose be done. And I believe that God wants his people to wake up. I do believe that.
He is shouting at the rooftop. I'm telling you, he really is. I'm telling you, man, what he downloaded in me today, CrownMarie, let me tell you, I'm gonna go live tomorrow and share though. I'm gonna go live tomorrow and share, because I normally don't. I go every blue moon, but God's like, nah, boo, I didn't give you this to hold on to. You got to share this with the people, And I used to just be afraid of what they gonna say, what they gonna think. I'm not no ordained minister or blah blah blah. All that stuff. I'm like, well, Lord, I have to be obedient. Look, we just have to be obedient.
Absolutely.
He tell us what we supposed to do. That's what we supposed to do.
You gotta do it.
Man, but I thank you. This was rich. I was gonna dig deep, but we're gonna have another episode because we're gonna dig into the background of your life. Because you got some other stories to share.
I do a lot of stuff that led to this point. Lord knows. Lord knows.
Yes.
God said he'll turn your mess to all of that. I tell people this.
I'm trying to tell you, it's real.
I was a hot mess.
It is real, but I thank you. I do. I appreciate you. I thank you for your time, because as I tell everyone, all my guests, we're going to get our time back, and I appreciate you. It is so precious. Any last words before we sign off, ma'am?
No, I just want to say, just dive deep into this information and know what the truth is, because the truth is, as cliche as it sounds, will set us free. And the truth starts with our mouth. What I'm learning is, they say the pen is what they say, the sword is mighty. What is it? Pen is mightier than the sword. The sword.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But
I know what you're talking about.
We have to get back used to writing. We got to get back used to taking our rights and expressing it. You have to express what it is. And that's what I'm learning when it comes to this legal system. So if you hear some information, really know that, dive into it. Don't always pay for somebody to do it for you. You can pay for a service to learn, but then get information and express it for yourself, because
Yes.
he who does not express his rights has none.
Wow.
And that's of the law, you know, and even the Bible, it talks about this. So we got to expressing who you are starts with standing in your truth, learning the information. Like you said, finding somebody, I know the information, set up a consultation call, talk to express your rights. And because if we want to get set free and we want to take back our power, clean your credit report, get approved for housing, cars, whatever it may be, it starts understanding the power of credit. And our social security number, you know, we gotta dive deep into this information.
Girl, that's okay. I told you, I've been listening to your video, sitting here with a whole notebook. I'm trying to tell you, look, I'm for real. I messaged you the other day. I was like, look.
I know that's right. Look, let's
I gotta get my world like all the way together and stop waiting on man. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But I appreciate you. I thank you. You dropped some bombs, baby. You dropped some gems, and I am just grateful. Thank you for sharing. Girl, you ain't tried. You did. Look.
Sometimes I get so excited, I be all over the place, especially if I'm a person which listen, we could do this. Listen. I'm telling you, when I found this information, I just keep going and going.
Man.
I keep going.
OMG is all I got to say. Guys, so hit her up. Y'all want to learn some more? You need that consultation. Hit CrownMarie up, y'all. Seriously.
On all social media platforms. Yes, definitely.
This thing,
it's a lot of, I do want to say it's a lot of fake pages out there on TikTok. So people tell me, I tell people all the time, it's a lot of it because of this information. They want to distract the people. And it's not just me they're doing it to. It's a lot of people that give out information when it comes to helping people, and they make these pages. That's another story too. I believe people think it's just a random person doing. I believe you broke. I know who behind it.
Look, we're in a spiritual world. People don't want to know we fighting a spiritual warfare, boo. Look, they don't want to see you elevate, period.
No,
you know?
Not
Seriously. But I thank you, girl. This has been such a blessing. I learned some stuff. I'm over here taking notes. I got to go back. I'm about to go back and listen to this so I can write them codes down. I'm about to get that book.
I'm sending it to you too. It's some more on that. I would send it to you because you. I
appreciate that. Because my sister just got to get correct. You know, I'm one of those of I'm not going to say unfortunately, because God designed us to be that help me for man and vice versa, for us to be that team, that partner. It's just so man's never worked out that way. So, always dependent on that man. But it's all about me. Being intentional. Being intentional.
That you're a blessing.
Intentional.
The platform is a blessing. So it's gonna work out.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
It's gonna work out.
So I thank you again. You are so precious, girl.
Thank you.
My resilience family, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching, and because this was a blessing, y'all, and we got to get out. We got to get it together so we can level up, so we can elevate in this world.
Absolutely.
My resilience family, I want y'all to stay well, stay blessed, stay blessed, stay blessed, and always stay resilient. Stay resilient, guys. Stay resilient.
Thank you.